Afternoon, folks. Vlog number 2 for today on the white paper and solution-based thinking more than anything else. Let's touch on leadership, okay, and that's internally how we operate within as a sponsor within the sector, and how we want to act globally when we're connecting with agents and colleges and working on T&E and all sorts. Okay. So it's something which I have spent a huge amount of time over my entire career working on, is various leadership skills and the leadership techniques, which have to vary. So my background years ago, my very first career was in catering. I was a head chef at the age of 20, I think it was back then. And then I joined the military, and my leadership style went into a very coaching style of leadership, but also very clear. There were goal setting. We always knew the teamwork was never in question, and it was quite effortless to get to that stage. That was like 12 years of my career. And then when I was injured, I then retrained and then became a lawyer. That then took on a bit of a challenge in terms of leadership in that industry. And then when I went to the higher education industry, I then put myself through a leadership MBA for the higher sector to then navigate around something more to do with working around politics and working with certain agendas and the side of portfolios, and it's to try and help me navigate around to get the best that I possibly could out of my team, myself, and also people around me. In 2021, having done 8 years in the sector at that stage, I was nominated and I won a national award for military values in business. And it was a pivotal moment, really for me, a really proud moment for me, because one thing I'd never lost throughout my entire time working with various teams, building up teams, working with people across all different echelons within the sector, from execs and vice chancellors through to people doing admin and even cleaners, just make sure that we're all part of the same machine. Is I never lost sight of the importance of understanding strategically where we're going, but also understanding the ramifications of what can happen when people aren't all on the same hymn sheet, which is not a given when you come out of the military and civilian sector. So the thing that the military is in is obviously a lot of negatives, to be honest with you, in terms of what the military machine's about. But the positive things about being in the UK forces at the time is we are there to try and help people, protect people from coming into harm. We're not an aggressive force. Foreign policies obviously dictate it's otherwise, but we were certainly, when you're in the military, you're there to try and make things better. Now the leadership model for that really is based on a thing called sea drills, and I've just tried to think about how the sector can relate to this. So the first one is courage, which is the moral courage to do the right thing. That's across our partners, from agents internally, getting to know exactly what we're meant to be doing and doing it for the right reason. The next thing is discipline, and that's going beyond our processes and going beyond what our normal job is to make sure that the student journey and the license is protected. The student journey is fantastic, and we're not going to fall foul of rules. The next is respect for others. It's clear we've got to understand about cultural nuances of our partners. We have to understand about some of the support that's needed and also what the government requires from us. The fourth thing is about integrity, and that's about trust. It's about holding on to the bits that are really important, and we're doing it for the right reason. If you're doing things under the spirit of compliance, under the spirit of the student journey, under the spirit of academic excellence, you cannot slip up, because your mindset is there to try and help someone from A to Z. The fifth one is loyalty, and that's supporting each other within the sector. And our academic partners are the UKVI and Home Office. It's a student, it's an agent, it's the parents, it's staff members, and it's academics, teachers. We're all part of the same machine here, okay? And the final one is selfless commitment, which then goes back to teamwork. So it's massively important that we adopt this sort of like style of thinking when we are working, because when you contract with me, part of what I do is not only look at the student journey from A to Z, all the bits that are going to lead to an audit and a successful audit, or come out of an action plan, whatever you need from me. But I look at team dynamics. I look at the transformation piece of what's not working because your org structure isn't right, potentially, and your processes aren't linked. And a lot of that is really positive leadership, okay? So I've got another vlog that I want to do a little bit later, and that's all about an analogy to do with the sports industry and working within regulation and rules, and what makes someone a successful sports person and what makes them not a successful sports person, and how that relates to the sector. Okay, so there's an insight, good positive vlog there, I think. So have a wonderful week again, stay connected.